What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about and kind of show off this game that just isn't talked about at all. Like, this genre is super popular. I felt like this was a really good game out of the genre, and just nobody was talking about it. Like, everybody's talking about Megabonk, and this isn't a knock on Megabonk. I haven't played Megabonk, but it looks fantastic. It seems like it's really fun to play. Like, the dev had a whole lot of fun making it. Like, it's great. Those are the kinds of games that we need. So don't take this as a bash on that. I'm just like, this game is, it's from the similar genre. It came out at roughly the same time, but like, everybody's talking about Megabonk and nobody's talking about this one. So this game is out of time. And then I think probably one of the big reasons that nobody's talking about it is it's an Epic Store exclusive. It's on the Steam page, but you can't buy it or play it from Steam. So I would imagine that's hurting its popularity like a lot, because as we all know, like Epic exclusives, especially when they're going to come out on Steam later, I mean, in my opinion, they seem to hurt the game. I'm not seeing any popularity aside from Fortnite or debatably Rocket League, but I know a lot of people who used to play Rocket League from the Steam client. But anyway, so I think that's hurting its popularity. Megabonk also just kind of went super viral. It seems like everybody's playing it, all the streamers, and like the Twitch category on this game is pretty much dead. Like, I was one of the top streamers on it with like 3 viewers. There's almost nobody in it. But so when I got it, and I was playing with my brother, so I haven't played single player, so I don't, maybe single player is not as fun, but I don't know, multiplayer seemed really good. When I got it, I was really surprised, because I was like, this came out, the 25th of September, a little over a week ago, and I saw an ad for it on TikTok, and that's pretty much the only thing I've seen about it on the game. I'm not being paid to promote this. I've got like 60 subscribers on YouTube. Nobody's paying me to promote anything. I just kind of wanted to bring some attention to it because I think it's a really cool project, and it's kind of a really different take on this roguelike survival based genre that I haven't seen before. So if you kind of look at my character, this is the hub menu. So I have a power level that is based on all of this gear. And what this game does differently is, rather than you finding items and using those items in the runs, you kind of find them after the runs or sometimes during the runs, but you equip them to your character. So every run, you kind of know a little bit more roughly how your build's going to go. So I think there's a little bit less RNG from that. Maybe a good or a bad thing if you like a bunch of RNG from playing roguelikes. But the way it works is each of your gear slots gives you different abilities and stats. So like this one, helmets are all passive, like rings and necklaces are passive. But then your chest plate gives an active ability, so this one calls in an airstrike. Your boots give you kind of a movement ability, and then your weapon obviously has several abilities. So you get kind of, the concept of the game, the title, Out of Time. You have these different time periods that you can play in, and whichever one of these you play in, it kind of affects, like, obviously medieval, you're going swords and magic. If you go modern, it's guns and kind of more, as the title suggests, modern stuff. And then you've got some more futuristic, like this is robots, and this is kind of Mad Max style, future dystopian. So you get this really interesting mix. Like, my character uses a spell tome and calls in airstrike, so it kind of creates, I think, this really funny mix of, I'm not like a fantasy character, I'm not like a commando character, but you kind of get both. So I think that's really unique and really fun. You do get to these type of upgrade systems, like straight out of roguelikes, just basic small upgrades for every run, and then you see I have levels on all my gear, so that can all be upgraded as well. And then obviously once you get into the game, you level up in the game, and then that's kind of where the roguelike comes in. So each of these I'm not sure if I can look at it here or if I have to. Okay, so they all have different upgrade cards. Every piece of gear, and they're all different. So every upgrade card, these are potential upgrades that I can find on level up when I'm using these abilities. So when you level up, you get to choose between these three. So that's where a lot of that RNG roguelike factor comes in. I'm going to play a match to kind of show it off too, because I do think it's really fun. So these you're going to get, and then when you choose them, it'll tell you where that upgrade card is coming from, which gear slot that's coming from. I'm going to do a multiplayer because there are some systems that I want to show off about the multiplayer that, I don't know, they seem kind of weird. Let's see. Let's go one of these higher leveled ones. I'm in kind of this weird spot where my power level is not high enough for the hard mode yet, but it's also too high for the normal mode. So your recommended power level, and then it kind of shows you your chances of getting rarity or higher rarity stuff, and then the higher you upgrade, the higher your chances of, you know, obviously more gold, more resources for your upgrades and stuff like that. But let's hop into this dark forest. I'll go public. It looks like we couldn't find anybody, so I can't show off the aura system. I'll try again
5,
later.
4, 3,
So I'll start
2,
off by showing a solo
1,
run. I was having
go.
trouble finding anybody. So you can see this circle around me. You can see those white edges. That's called your aura. So yes, all you aspiring Riz Lords out there, you do get aura if you play this game. And what in multiplayer, the way that works is when you have to, or you don't have to, but you gain stat bonuses from sharing aura with your allies. So you can share some of the stat bonuses you get on level up if you are standing in each other's aura, and then you kind of slowly take damage if you're not. So the game encourages you to stay together. You get pretty massively buffed if you do. And then the way it works is it's not wave based. It's based on, see, so here's some of our example. You see we have this card's from weapons, this game's cards from armor, boots, helmet. So you kind of decide your build going in here. So like I was saying, it's not wave based. You have that tangle clear percentage up in the top right corner. So your goal is to get that on easy mode at 75%. And that gets higher once your game, once you start doing the higher difficulties. Like I think on hard mode, it's 85%. I've only done a couple hard mode. My gear's not high enough level for it, so it's pretty tough. So you get that to 75%, and then the boss spawns. And then once you complete the once you defeat the boss, that is when you get to choose your gear and then go on to the next raid. So it's shorter. You're not doing like 2-hour-long runs like you might be used to if you're in like Risk of Rain, or from my understanding, that's kind of how Megabonk works. Just because I've only seen gameplay of Megabonk, I've never played it. But I know that's based on like longer survival time. This is more, I guess, if you're into like the Diablo style, like just doing a more consistent build that you're going to be doing a lot more regularly, so you're not relying on that RNG. If you'd like, you know, min-maxing, grinding for, you know, that one piece of gear that's going to make your build come apart really, or come together really well, then this is maybe more your style of game. It's at a lot less of the RNG than you're going to see from most normal roguelikes. But you still get a lot. The ability evolutions are really good, so if you get really high level without getting any of the ability evolutions, especially if you're looking for one specific one, then you might have a little bit harder of a time. So we're just going to keep clearing this. So once we get to 75, we'll do the boss fight. It is all, you know, auto attacks like most Vampire Survivors or Megabonk. And then all of your cooldown abilities are active. So I just love this mix of using the spell and the calling in airstrikes. I think it's hilarious. You get the kind of the same thing with the enemies. Every era that you enter has different types of enemies. So it gets really fun, really interesting. You see pretty ridiculous combination of gear worn, and I love it, man. This game, my brother and I played for several hours when we discovered it. Just kind of flabbergasted. Okay, so here's a really important thing. You can increase your aura radius so you can get farther away. This global applies to all of your abilities, and then as well as any of your allies who are also in your aura. They will get that exact same that global bonus. So hugely encouraged to stay together with your allies and to make sure y'all don't get too far apart. You get such good stat bonuses. You're so much stronger. That also have, I didn't really mention this, but really different types of builds. So let me see if I can get into this. Sorry, brief interruption. But like I was saying, we have the really typical like damage, healer, tank spread of builds. So you can kind of mix and match that as much as you want. Like for me playing solo, I probably should have taken at least one healing ability. That would help a lot. You don't have to, especially like we're not really having any trouble killing these guys, so it's not hugely necessary. We might be just fine. We'll see if it becomes an issue when we get into the boss fight, but I don't really anticipate it being one. So as you get more of your buddies that want to play, you can diversify builds a little bit more. Maybe have someone completely focused on healing. I'd imagine that becomes a lot more important as you get into the harder zones. When I was playing with my brother, it was not really an issue at all. We didn't have any difficulty not having a dedicated healer, but we were playing on a lot easier modes. So it might just be one of those things that as you get more advanced in the game, you have to think about a lot more. Which I would assume it is, because otherwise there's not much point in going to healer builds. It would be kind of lame if it was unnecessary. And we're getting close, we're getting 50%. Said we only need 75. You get these little events every now and then, so you can get like mini bosses that might give you extra gear. You can get, so we did that platform one. There's always some really interesting ones that you can get. I don't know, man. Like, we were just really confused. This is... Oh, we actually might die here. I haven't done any of the solo ones, and it is significantly more difficult than doing 33% global damage. Is just so good. It's significantly more difficult than playing multiplayer because you don't have that kind of cushion. You can revive each other if you die, so that would help. That helps quite a bit, gives you a bit more of that cushion. Let's see if I can stay away from these guys. It's not even going to be a successful run that I get to show off. Unless I can salvage this. Oh, there's only 2 guys. This magnet will give us huge level boosts. Okay. Cooldown on our best ability is good. And we're just going to have to wait and regen a little bit, I think. We got enough time. You can take it a lot slower. Like, enemies don't spawn until you reveal more of the tangle. So if you're kind of having trouble fighting as huge of waves as I just did, you can explore smaller portions of the tangle at a time. Make it a little bit easier on yourself. So like now we see enemies are spawning. I can back off, hit them with a spell, clear that wave, and that might just be a little bit of a better strategy for solo.
Defeat all the enemies. Reward secured.
Okay, so that was another one of those little events. It awards you with an upgrade. Let's see, getting a little bit more mobility might be a good idea. So I can avoid some of these bad guys since they are hitting us pretty hard. So you have 6 minutes left to get another 14%, so that should be pretty easy. The timer does stop once the boss spawns. So if you're worried about having to rush down that boss fight, it's not really an issue. These are upgrade materials here. You see me collecting those through the whole run.
10% tangle remaining until boss is summoned.
So we'll just take this nice and slow. And not rush anything, because I really would like to show off a successful run. This guy, you see there is a threat level increasing as the timer goes down, so that's a really similar mechanic that I know it from Risk of Rain. I'd imagine it's in a lot of other games as well. The Vampire Survivors, like pretty much all the big ones from this. I would assume Megabonk. So we'll just keep our distance. We want to heal up as much as possible before we get that boss fight in. So next time I do a solo run, I'll just take a healing ability, and then this won't be an issue hardly at all. Health packs do drop from enemies. They just I just haven't gotten any this run, which is unlucky, I guess. But what are you gonna do? Get some health back. Let's see. Cooldown reduction on that ability is really good. So you can kind of pick different abilities to spec into every run. Said I've tried a whole bunch of different things in this game. A gun, an axe. I guess probably one of the complaints I have about it is like that ability there, even though it highlights red, if I were playing with other people on my team, it still highlights red. So it's not... so, I mean, there's really no differentiation as far as they're concerned. Like, oh, that could be an enemy ability that they need to dodge, and they just don't know because it still shows up the same color as when, like, you'll see this boss, when he uses an ability, it's going to be red. Ooh, that hurts. Oh, his isn't red, his is blue, but maybe that's just one of those things that's different than most games, because most games enemy abilities are red. So we get this one where they're blue, and it's a little unexpected. Throws you off a little bit. We should be able to take him out. Just waiting for our last spell to come off a cooldown, and that'll be the boss down. So he's dead. Like I said, the timer had stopped completely. We get the victory screen, and then it gave us a green item. So it tells you how many you own. You can get duplicates, you can break them down for parts, but that's how a normal run works. So something worth checking out. There's no microtransactions, which I think is a really good thing. No like special editions for you to buy. It does break down which of your abilities did the most damage, so I kept referring to this as our best because it consistently does the most damage for me. But I hope you guys will check that out, and thank you for watching.